Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, and this is freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Rupeeland. Is the moss going to respawn while I'm doing this intro? In the last episode, we discovered the wonderful, wacky world of the Rosy Rupeeland, except we're not in Rupeeland yet, we're in Hometown Prairie. We went into the town where you need to bribe everyone just to say howdy-do, and I promised we'd go north, so let's go north, and be introduced to... Link, but not? Hey, yo! I don't have any voices left. Do you know something? I don't know anything. This is the world where you need to pay to know things. Just now, when I says you coming, I got a really bad feeling. I mean, look at those I don't know why this is her voice, it just is. My intuition is never wrong. I'm Maya Fey, but with orange hair. I have to warn you. You are going to die. Yeah, that sounds like an exaggeration on my part. No, that is the actual line. Hock Shorer. I'm going to stop that annoying voice now. So, this, I believe her name is Abba, named after the noise that Toon Link makes in The Wind Waker. But yes, this is a tutorial on how to ABC, Aba's battle class. Good noise when you say yes, I maintain this much. So yes, this is our tutorial. It's wise to take it because it is... Well, combat in this game works interestingly. So it's real-time field mechanic. There's none of this turn-based nonsense. You need to approach an enemy, jump on top of it, and just generally have a fantastic time. Thing is, the way damage is calculated, basically every couple of seconds, you'll randomly lose a fixed number of rupees based on, like, the type of enemy you're fighting, the number of enemies, etc., etc. Of course, this doesn't count for anything because this is just a tutorial. But you need to repeatedly tap... Oh, there's an enemy right at the top of the screen there. You have to tap on the cloud with the stylus to increase your damage output. It's very advisable that you learn to do this early because later in the game, this could be the difference between winning and losing a battle. So, tap your cloud. You'll know that it's working because you'll have different sound effects and those little extra particles will appear. Because otherwise you're just a dust cloud, but if you tap on the thing, you get extra, like, cartoony visual effects, and it's just generally a lovely time. Also, yeah, each time, like, each one enemy spawns a smoke cloud. You have the ability to control it by moving around with the D-pad. But, yeah, you need to... You can roll over, like some sort of weird Katamari of death. You can roll over multiple enemies to fight them. So, in this instance, I don't know exactly how the penalty is calculated. Like, 2 enemies doesn't necessarily mean you'll lose 2 rupees every now and then as a means of taking damage. But you will lose more, but you'll get more in exchange for ending the battle. So, whereas before you might get 1 material and 3 rupees, you might get 3 materials and 5 rupees, or something like that. Anyway, continue tutorialing me, please. Please tutorial me further. Little strawberry, me baby. Okay, I will fight for real, and I will get real rewards. Hello, yes, I am real, man. Do you want to go skateboards? So, I don't remember if she tutorials us ever again, but yay, we have obtained Battle-tastic. And let's demonstrate what we've learned by taking on 2 whole rats at once. So yeah. We spent some rupees, but got 3 bones, so we can now make a firework. There's a bridge here, but we can't use it. This is sad. There is a pig. I'm going to kill the pig. And again, get some minced meat in exchange for losing rupees. Sometimes you do get rupees back from battles, so it's not necessarily a lost cause. There's a big rat there, little rat here. Get them all together. I feel like there's another rat around here somewhere, but not necessarily. In my practice run, I got more rupees out of these battles. Because usually, if you hang around here long enough, it's a relatively good way of just grinding... Oh, there's a pig there, that's why I missed. It's a comparatively good way of grinding money. Because, obviously, you lose money for fighting, but you gain some for winning. And I think the enemies... Yeah, the enemies work like with... Not like Earthbound. They spawn per loading zone as opposed to per region of the area. So... Like, just going over here won't make that previous enemy respawn. But if you leave the area and come back by going into a different screen, then that will make them respawn. Anyway, here's a lady. Oh, dear me. I can't get it right. I don't know what this accent is, so live with it. Mapping is not as easy as it looks. Hello, young man. I am the town map seller. It's just ancient Merfolk from Shake Dimension.
My husband was a master mapper, but he passed away, and the wind blew away all of his unfinished maps. There's only one left, the map of this area, Hometown Prairie.
Hibiscus hair.
You're just a passerby, but if you can help me, I'll reward you. Will you help me draw my map?
Sure.
Thank you, young man. As my hands shake, I can't draw properly.
You're implying that I can draw any better. Well, this is a massive gimmick that, like, lasts over the course of the game. You get maps for various areas. I forget how we get maps in later areas, to be honest. I know you can get them, because it's a recurring thing. But yeah, the map is incomplete. For instance, this grave here doesn't appear on the map above. So what we need to do is fill the map in ourselves, and then, once we've done that, we can take that map to this old lady's stall in town, and she will pay us actual money for each individual landmark, and a subsequent one for completing the map of the area. However, that also means that she will buy the map back off you, and you need to pay for it to get it back. But the amount of money you get from putting the money you get from each individual landmark is more than it costs to buy the map back from her. But if you, it's a reasonable way of making money. You don't have to buy the maps back, but if you do, you're not doing it at a loss. Also, a couple of rules with the circles when mapping. If you're nowhere near a landmark, you'll get a sort of a kind of noise, and it's I think it turns yellow, and then the circle disappears. If you're near to a landmark, then it'll make a sort of good noise, but it won't react. And if you circle it correctly, then obviously that happens. And you notice that we're 50% complete. There is one other landmark here, so this text box here is our hint to find something else. Well, we were told to sort of poke around the north left, the upper west side of Hometown Prairie in search of a fish statue. And how much do you want to bet that that's not on the map? And we will have to map it ourselves for tutorial purposes. Well, would you look at that? We found a fish. So pop open the map, and I'm surprised that worked first time, because when I did it in my practice run, it took me several attempts just to get the fish rock to agree with me. So, interact with it, because you can see it has something in its mouth, and as it turns out, we got the fairy doll. We were told to look out for one and also interact with it again, and it doesn't react at all. So is this meant to be a shachihoko, or is it just a fish rock being a fish rock? Because it wasn't a rock, it was a rock lobster. Now, before we head back into town, one thing I would rather like to do is, bearing in mind we just did some combat and we got some bones. Oh, and the moss has respawned. I forget if that's for anything or if we just need to, I don't know, if it's just for selling. But we can now follow a recipe. We can make Tingle fireworks. We can make exactly 2 batches of Tingle fireworks. So, because we do that, we may as well. You can sell the bones, but if you create fireworks and sell them, you will make more. I think you'll sell it for more than if you were to sell each bone individually. Now, the way cooking works is you only have to mix one set of ingredients, and you need to keep booping the ingredients. Like, each time you boop them, they'll go down in size. And then once all of them have been reduced to 0 size and the meter at the top of the screen has been filled up, which they are directly correlated, then that completes the recipe. If you run out of time, then you don't successfully make the thing. Now, we only have 1 bottle, so this will hypothetically take 2 trips. In fact, it will practically take 2 trips because we only have 1 bottle. This is why bottles are important, because we will be making a lot of recipes over the course of this game, and they will prove very useful to us for various reasons. So you need to collect bottles. This being said, before we even do anything, because we can get another bottle right now, and in my practice run I actually got this before doing anything with the fireworks, but I believe it's you. Do you buy my fireworks? You. So, I don't know how much you can sell the bones for individually, but fireworks are for 36 rupees each. This is unequivocally a good deal. So, do that. You're welcome. I've already forgotten what... Oh, yeah.
I'll be happy to buy these from you, so keep them coming. Oh, and one more thing. I'm sure I have an empty jar lying around. If you want to know more, I'm always happy to talk. Good day.
For a price, of course. This is... For some reason, I thought it was the guard at the entrance of town. I know he does have an empty bottle at some point, but in this instance, jar for sale. Now, bear in mind, we just got 36 rupees. He's willing to sell the jar to us, and you have to pay... That's your only clue. You have to pay more than 36. But this is how the game works. A word of warning.
If your offer is too low, I'm still gonna take the rupees. So what's your offer?
And they don't add up. So if you were to offer 10 and then 20, he will only acknowledge that you paid him 10 and then 20. That does not roll together to being 30. So what you need in order to get the jar successfully is to offer 50. And you'll know this is a negotiation sequence rather than just paying for a conversation because you get this animation. If it turns pink, that's good. If it turns some sort of sad blue, I think, then you're in a bad spot. And I don't know. There is a 50 is minimum. We paid the minimum. We're having a fantastic time. Also, Chico's mother. I can sell you moss. This isn't why we're here. I can never remember which way around to do this. Ah, but also, old lady.
No, it's you. Thank you for your help during the map. This is my little shop. Well, I say shop. There are no maps for sale. If you would be kind enough to keep making maps for me, I'll be able to get this shop up and running just like the old days. Naturally, I'll reward your hard work with rupees. Good luck, young man.
So basically what I just explained before. So just show her the map. So Fish Rock by itself is worth 50 rupees, which is very good. I think either she didn't reward us for the grave, or she did back when we first got it. I was too busy explaining it to actually pay any attention. But for the completed map, first of all,
it's almost like a real map shop again. I'm sure my husband is smiling up in heaven. Now I'm going to buy back the map of Hometown Prairie. Here are 100 rupees.
So, note that we got 150 rupees here, because we showed her Fish Rock, and also sold her the map back. In order to buy it back, though, it costs a hard 125. You cannot haggle this. There are some things you can haggle later, but you cannot haggle this. So, in the grand scheme of things, we made 150 rupees. You can keep the 150 rupees. That's fine if you want to just keep the money and not get the map. Or, you can buy the map now and spend 125 of the 150 we made. I'm going to leave it for now, because realistically, it's a small area that almost fits on one screen. So it's not really, it doesn't really merit worrying about. We can survive without the map. Also, one singular rupoid, because I have the emphatic singular in my personal idiolect. You there.
Boo-hoo! A fish ate my fairy.
Wow, the map woman has sort of infected her way of speaking. Here, have the fairy doll. The dairy foal.
Yippee! My fairy!
My fairy! You found my fairy! Just gradually getting lower in tone, apparently. You're welcome, child. We already know what your name is. And yet I'm just going to call you child. So, bear in mind we were told that a fairy will guide our way to the treasure of the hero Lithos. And, well, this girl has a fairy. Clearly this girl is the fairy. It's like Beauty and the Beast, except a little girl and a fairy. Can I have a word with you? Sure. It seems you were kind enough to find Chico's beloved fairy doll. Thanks to you, I didn't have to make a new one, because I just have better things to do with my time than look after my child. Hee hee. Merited its own text box. Don't worry, I know that it's not words that count. I'll give you a reward. You only get one chance. If you're so greedy, I'm gonna change my mind. So, this is the flippity flop of paying people money. You can also request rewards sometimes. Again, there is a hypothetical maximum. If you go over the maximum, you will not receive the reward. You will permanently lock yourself out of the reward. The most you can get for this is a hard 60. You pay 61, you'll be rejected. You can never get this reward ever. 60 is the most you can ask. So be careful, negotiate, and profit. Okay, 60 it is. Look after Chico, you hear? It's funny, because Chico is Spanish for boy. Anyway, moving swiftly along, what I'm going to do is pop back to Tingle's house, grab the fireworks, and come back and sell them, because I can. I also picked up another bit of moss while we were there. Still not decided what I'm going to do with it just yet, but hey, here, take my fireworks for another healthful profit. You are entirely welcome. I somehow misread Armorer as rapper, so clearly this guy has a SoundCloud account. Now, Chef Man, do you have anything else to say to us? Surprisingly not. We can sell our minced meat for 3. It's not worth it. Cook it into something later. I feel like that does have use. We still can't do anything with the jewelers. We can't do anything with... Well, we can do something with the fountain, but it's not worth it yet. We could go and buy the map. There's no need. And then there's this guy who has nothing else to say. It was worth checking. Now, we said that... Well, Chico told us to meet her out here, so I guess we should go and do that. And since we're here, since we're at nearly 300 ruples, which is chump change in this universe, but still, I'm gonna make like pink and get into a fight. There's probably some way of like getting all 6 of the enemies here in a single dust cloud, but I don't know, it's not really worth the effort. So, sort of herd you downwards a little bit. Grab your entire ass. Don't run away from me, mouse. Get everyone involved in one big, brutal royale of death. And again, we get a small rebate of 5 rupees and some more ingredients. It's worth your while to do this. Ultimately, we only lost 3 rupees in doing that, and we got a load of ingredients, so it is worth it. Take your time, fight people. It will be... you will feel rewarded. Anyway, we're at the statue, as promised. Greetings. I am this town's legendary hero. I'm going to give you a reward for finding my fairy. I want to suck your blood. Because it's the 1st of November at the time of recording this. Hi. Hello. I still don't know how to voice her. I had a good idea in the first episode, that's entirely gone. I was playing with my fairy here the other day. She sounds too much like the map woman. She got a bit carried away and kicked the town hero. This came loose. Inconsistent voices go. Go through here and you can go under the ground. The armor said that there was something good under the ground. Is it more ground? What can it be? What's it gonna be? Oh! So polite. So polite, I love it. And so, we can enter the hero. It's like Enter the Dragon, but enter the hero. Hi there, friend. Friend! Friend, come back here and befriend me. You can't, he'll just keep running around this statue. And now we have a way forwards. You must stand on this pressure plate to be denied access. You can't walk past the pressure plate, it won't let you. So, here we are at the gate to the hero's shrine, as you can see on the top screen. Only those who pay may pass. This is a premium dungeon, don't you know? Rupees! Rupees! Once again, in this instance, if you don't pay enough, then it will keep track of how many you've paid, because that's what that number at the top of the gate is for. But you need to pay at least 50 in order to open this gate, and that's how we enter the hero. If you pay less than 50, then it'll keep track of that, and if you pay 49 and then 1, that will work too, but just do it in one go. It's like a bank. We may pass. We've opened the way for ourselves and for this green guy as well. So, in the next episode, we will go further into the hero's shrine. But for now, I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons, and hope you'll join me next time for these hot shenanigans.